Are you feeling overwhelmed by retirement planning? Are you wondering if you have the right financial advisor for that retirement or searching for one? You're not alone. Numerous studies show that your choice in a financial advisor can dramatically impact the success or failure of your retirement. Finding the right one who truly has the expertise to focus on your retirement success is absolutely critical. In this video, I'll reveal the 5 key signs that a financial advisor may not be the right one for your retirement success. Here's a hint. It's not about your investments. We'll be talking about things like fees, transparency, qualifications, expertise, and trust and communication, and really dialing in on the advisor that specializes in a complex retirement planning system. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so I hesitate point number 1, but I have to say it because I think it's helpful and I'll explain why. Find an advisor who has a designation of CPA or CFP, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you have to have one of these designations to be a good qualified retirement advisor, but here's why I tell this story, the story of Jim. This is a true story. His name's not Jim, but this is a financial advisor that I personally know. Jim sold mobile homes for commissions his entire life. He was very, very good at it. He made a lot of money at it. But I asked him, why did you become a financial advisor? And he told me about his brother in another state who was also selling things for commissions and making more money than Jim was. And Jim told me that his brother was selling commission-based investments, mutual funds, and making more money. So what did Jim do? He took a test and became a financial advisor. Today, he is also selling stuff like he was in the past, but now he's selling investments. Keep in mind, there are 700,000 financial advisors in the United States of America. What do you have to be a financial advisor? Do you need a degree? No. Do you need any experience? No. Can you have a criminal record and be a financial advisor? In certain conditions, yes. In fact, the only thing you have to do to be a financial advisor in the United States of America is to be 18 years old and pass a 3-hour test. That's it. If you look at Investopedia, look at the guide to financial designations. You look at this website, what are the first 2? You guessed it, CPA and CFP. Why are these important? Both of these designations, you have to pass a rigorous exam that requires a deep knowledge in the field of expertise, okay? And unlike most of these designations, they require every year continuing education. So you know that the advisor not only passed some sort of exam, has this knowledge, but is keeping abreast of the most recent changes in the industry. And finally, both CPAs and CFPs are bound to adhere to a higher level of professional and ethical conduct. We're talking about honesty, integrity, due care, avoiding conflicts of interest, and acting in the client's best interest. So, I'm merely putting myself in your shoes. You have one chance to get your retirement right and pick the right financial advisor. And as I said, there's hundreds of thousands of advisors out there. You're trying to figure out which one is right for you. So even though you might find a good retirement advisor that doesn't have a CPA or doesn't have a CFP, why not take some of the guesswork out? It's just as simple as that. And a little bonus tip, okay, the CPA side leans more towards taxes. The CFP side leans more towards the planning side. For me, I've never understood why Americans don't just find an advisor who has, or a firm that has both. That makes sense. Okay, point number 2, we're talking about fees now. This is critical, right? When you're talking about fees, there's 2 things you need to think about. Number 1, fiduciary. Number 2, transparency. Let's talk about fiduciary first. As a fiduciary, a financial advisor is obligated to do what's in your best interest at all times. Generally, that means a lot of things, but one of the things I like to point out is that it generally means they're not using commission-based products, right? The ones that pay them the most. They're generally doing something different, right? When acting as a fiduciary, a retirement advisor is going to be fee-only or fee-based. And that means a lot of things, but amongst those things, it means not putting your entire portfolio in a bunch of commission-based products where the fees are nearly impossible for you to find. However, that brings up point number 2, transparency. Very important, right? Not all fiduciaries are necessarily keen on showing you fees. Let me show you what I mean. So this is a statement of a fiduciary advisor, and I just told you fiduciary is important, right? But if you're looking at this statement, how transparent are the fees? The fees are hidden on page 7 in the bottom left-hand corner. Is that transparent? I don't know. How were the fees calculated? Why are they there? Why aren't they like big and bold right on the statement? Why are they hidden on the bottom left-hand corner on page 7? Now, this is an example of a true way to be transparent about fees. This is a full page. It's an 8.5 by 11 page on your statement. It tells you clearly what are the fees for every single account you have. And not only does it clearly show you the fees, it actually tells you how they were calculated. This is fee transparency. Now, before I get to point number 3, I want to tell you about something that I've been working on for over a decade. This video is near and dear to my heart. I've made a career out of making videos telling people that I think American retirees are set up to fail. There's no doubt about it. And I think the biggest problem, or maybe one of the biggest problems, is that when we're searching for a retirement advisor, we really don't know what to ask. What are the things we should be asking? And how can I check this advisor to see if he really is what he says he is? I've made this document, 5 to Ask. It is free. I've given out thousands of copies. It's about 15 pages, right? It's more comprehensive than this video. I would recommend that everybody download. There's no strings attached. It's one of my life's works. I think it's great for everybody. It's the 5 topics to ask your financial advisor. If you want to go deeper into really understanding how to choose an advisor, you can get it at 5toask.com. It's free. Go check it out because I think it's worth your while just to have it in your back pocket when you're talking to an advisor. Check it out. Okay, so on to attribute number 3. This is important to me. Finding an advisor that focuses on income first. At the end of the day, what do you, as an American retiree, what do you want? Well, if you're like most American retirees, you want one thing: security, okay? Real retirement planning is about maximizing the chances of retirement success. I'll say that again. Real retirement planning is about maximizing the chances of your retirement success. And ultimately, that usually comes down to focusing on income. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm showing you here 2 fictitious financial plans, plan number 1 and plan number 2. I'm showing you only the 2 top lines of these plans, which is the most likely outcome of how much money you will have when you pass away. Most likely amount in your investment accounts when you pass away. Plan number 1 looks better than plan number 2, right? Because most likely in plan number 1, you die with $500,000, while plan number 2, you only die with $400,000. Now, what's the best possible outcome? You could have a great stock market in the 30 years of your retirement. And instead of passing away with $500,000 in plan 1, you could actually pass away with $1 million. Wouldn't that be great? So you're looking at these 2 plans and you have a limited amount of data that you're looking at. Everyone, 10 out of 10 people are going to say, I want plan number 1, until you kind of reveal more information. Now I'm looking at the worst possible outcome, right? We also could have a really bad stock market in our 30 years of retirement. In plan number 1, you see it's actually possible, if things don't go our way, that you might die with nothing in the bank. And that is the pure definition of a failed retirement. So now you're looking at plan number 1 and plan number 2, and you're looking at what I said earlier. Real retirement planning is about maximizing the chances of success. And now you're saying, I want plan number 2, because pretty much no matter what happens, it looks like I'm probably going to be okay. Now I'm going to drop down one more line and show you what's behind these 2 plans. Very simply, plan number 1 has no income planning, no focus on income. The only income on plan 1 is a person's Social Security, whereas plan 2, they've focused on income, and that gives you the 98% chance of success. Now, unfortunately, in our industry, most advisors don't focus on income enough, or some don't focus on it at all. Instead, what do they like to talk about? They like to talk about investments. They like to talk about making you money. Why? Well, because that's what we as Americans like. We love making money. What's the best stock to buy? But that is not real retirement planning. I've done a lot of work on focusing on income, a lot of work. If you want to learn more, check out some of these videos on the topic. I've put a lot of work into this, and understanding about how income improves your chances of retirement success is critical. Make sure you find an advisor that is focusing on income, and if they're not focusing on income, look for a different advisor. Okay, point number 4 is a big one, communication. Did you know the number one reason that millionaire investors leave their financial advisor? It's because the advisor is not being proactive in contacting the client, not returning phone calls, not reaching out in a proactive way to say, hey, I want to just say hi, catch up, tell you what's going on in the markets or whatever. You know what this means? It means that the majority of retirement advisors, they don't communicate well with their clients. And ironically, that's the number one thing that you want. You should be hearing from your advisor at least monthly, at a minimum, especially in these critical situations. The market's gone down. We have a 100-year pandemic. There's been some geopolitical risk. I just want to kind of reach out to you, let you know what's going on. Ironically, again, this is the time when most financial advisors run away from their clients, stop answering phones, even locking their doors. And that's when you should be getting communications the most. You should be expecting at least one in-person or face-to-face, like a Zoom video call, at least one review per year. At our firm, we're meeting with clients all the time, and that's what clients want. Personal fun events are fun, they're nice, but they don't count, okay? You should like your financial advisor, but he or she probably does not need to be your best friend, okay? I've spent years going to advisor conferences, right? A bunch of thousands of financial advisors like me. And in my humble opinion, the advisors that take their clients to a game, like a ball game or a lavish whiskey tasting event, I think these advisors are like the celebrities who wear sunglasses because they're hungover. They're actually hiding something, okay? At our firm, we have one social retirement event a year. It's at the end of the year. It's simple. I don't think that taking a client to a baseball game does anything other than say, please don't leave me, okay? So whether you have an advisor or you're looking for an advisor, trust me, you just want one that proactively keeps you informed and engaged. Okay, final point, number 5. You need to feel confident that your advisor has specialized knowledge and planning, not just general advice. This is very important to me. Many people think that simply just investing money is basically what retirement planning is. That's just a small piece of the puzzle. Real retirement planning is a complex journey, has challenges that are unique to each individual client, where addressing all the aspects of a client's financial situation are considered. Now, let's be honest. If you're 35 years old and you just want some financial advice or you want some help with a portfolio, really any financial advisor worth his weight is going to be able to allocate your investments properly, right? But when you're retiring, you need a lot more. You need a proven retirement system that demonstrates an advisor's complete approach to your retirement. You should be meeting with the advisor and you should have a list of everything that service provides, right? You should not be in a meeting asking, hey, did we talk about Social Security today? Are we going to talk about that? Or asking, what about taxes? This is what I'm talking about. Before you even engage with an advisor, especially in retirement, you should have a proposal or a list of things that are included in that advisor's retirement planning system that he or she will provide. Now, take, for example, the AIM retirement system. This is a system that we developed, I trademarked. It's a 3-step system. It tackles multiple areas of retirement. This is a proven, complete planning system. Make sure that you're not going to a generalist. Make sure you're going to a retirement specialist. So that's it. 5 things to look for with your retirement advisor. CPA or CFP designation. Is it required? No, but does it help you filter through thousands of advisors and let you know at least who you're working with? Yes. Number 2, a fiduciary who is transparent on fees. Number 3, make sure you have a retirement advisor who is focusing on your income because that is where retirement success truly lies. Number 4, find somebody who's going to communicate with you often, not taking you to a baseball game. That doesn't count. And finally, number 5, make sure you're not working with a generalist, making sure that you have somebody who has a proven retirement system. If you found this video useful, subscribe to our channel for more great videos just like this. Thanks for watching.